Hello, Year 2 candidates. The focus of your ILP Phase 3 this year will be a project. This project will extend and apply your learning from your Cycle of Inquiry C, which you completed during the ILP Phase 2 period. This project can be delivered either in a synchronous or an asynchronous format. And this project also needs to be designed for a very particular stakeholder group. So think about your own students, a wider pool of students, parents or guardians of students that you work with, other community members, fellow teachers. During this project period, as you're implementing, you need to be gathering evidence and data that reflect the impact that your project is having on your selected stakeholder group. And you will share the details of your project during your showcase presentation at the end of the year. Let's look in more detail at the first step of your project. So your ILP Phase 3 Step 1 will focus on pre-thinking for your project. And you will see here examples of potential projects, parent night, staff training, newsletter, Canvas course. You can see here that there is a mix of synchronous, which is real-time events like a parent night or a particular training, or asynchronous projects, which could be designing a website, a YouTube channel that warehouses resource videos, etc. Really, the possibilities for applying your learning from your Cycle of Inquiry B are endless. If you would like to run your idea by a program specialist, email us and we can give you feedback on whether or not your project selection applies what you learned during your Cycle of Inquiry C. Activities 1 and 2 of your pre-thinking. In activity 1, you are going to describe your project. So for example, if you are wanting to design a virtual parent night for the parents of your students, you would give it a title and then you would provide a brief description of what you would intend to achieve during that parent night. In activity 2, you would then describe how the project you have in mind would apply the knowledge that you gained and your learning from your Cycle of Inquiry B. So the intention behind the project is that it extends your learning from the first half of the year. Activities 3 and 4 of your project are again in the pre-thinking stage in step 1, and you need to align your project with CSTP 6. So take a look at elements 6.2 through 6.7, and then in the box here, list the CSTP. So you can copy and paste in, for example, CSTP 6.4, go ahead and copy in 6.4, working with families to support student learning, just so that you can show your CSTP element alignment with your project. The whole purpose is to show how you're developing as a professional educator during your project, as well as applying your learning from your Cycle of Inquiry. And then in activity 4, then describe 3 goals that you have for your project. These are your goals based on what you would like to achieve by designing this project for that particular stakeholder group. In activities 5 and 6, in 5, you are going to describe the stakeholder group or the target audience that you have in mind. Remember, this could be your students, a wider pool of students, parents, colleagues, the community, and then explain your rationale for selecting this particular target audience. And finally, in your pre-thinking for your project, describe considerations that you need to keep in mind as you're designing and implementing your project. These are potential challenges you may have, things in particular that you need to pay attention to. And then explain what your rationale is for reflecting on these considerations before you move forward. So this is a new process this year. We're excited to see year 2s, what you come up with. If you have any particular questions about your projects, be sure to contact us. We'd be glad to help. Thank you.